If you are a woman over 40 and your libido went away and never came back, it's not your fault. I'm going to say that again. It's not your fault. And it's most likely not your partner either. It's your biology. And I'm going to explain exactly what's going on in your body and how to fix it. My name's Amy Kandetsky. I'm a registered nurse and certified hormone specialist, and I help moms over 40 get to the root cause of their symptoms so they can skyrocket their energy, lose the belly fat, and feel confident in bikini again. So it's not because if your libido went away, it's not because you don't love your partner. It's not because your body's broken. It's not because desire just disappears after 40. When your body is running on fumes, running on cortisol, you're storing belly fat despite eating healthy, you're crashing at 3, you're inflamed and exhausted, you're not sleeping deeply, you're barely producing progesterone, you're losing testosterone, and your body's in fight or flight, sex is not a priority. Your body will always prioritize survival over reproduction. So I'm going to say it again. If you lost your libido and it didn't come back, it's not your fault. Here are the 3 reasons why libido decreases in midlife. Number 1, cortisol dysfunction. So when your cortisol is high, that's going to increase glucose, and it's going to lead to blood sugar instability. Your body is going to be stuck in fight or flight, which is then going to decrease your sex hormones, especially progesterone. So it's called the pregnenolone steal. And so what happens is your body cannot make cortisol, it cannot make progesterone when cortisol is high. And it will always prioritize survival and cortisol over progesterone. So if cortisol is high, you won't be producing progesterone. So I typically see this in a lot of the Dutch testing that I do, the hormone testing I do with women, is that their progesterone is completely tanked when cortisol is high. I see cortisol patterns and I see progesterone on the Dutch hormone test. And again, cortisol is high, progesterone's low. Progesterone helps us feel safe in our bodies. So when we don't have progesterone, we're going to be more agitated, we're going to be more anxious, and we're not going to feel safe in our body. And we need that for intimacy and for desire. Number 2 is insulin resistance. I see this all the time with women in midlife, especially as estrogen starts to decrease, we become more insulin resistant. And so insulin disrupts testosterone balance, and blood flow becomes impaired. And insulin resistance will also increase chronic inflammation, which then dulls desire. And when we have energy crashes due to blood sugar going up and then crashing down and then going up and then crashing down, we don't have any interest in sex. We don't have any more energy for intimacy, right? We barely have the energy to get through the daily tasks that we have in a day. And testosterone is all about drive and motivation. And so when we don't have testosterone, we lose that. And then thirdly, poor mitochondrial function. So chronic stress will damage your mitochondria. And libido requires cellular energy. And it also requires nitric oxide production and proper blood flow. And also dopamine signaling. And we lose a lot of that with chronic stress and inflammation. So if mitochondria is sluggish, everything feels like an effort. So we will not have the extra energy for libido, for intimacy. So 2 things that we can do to help with libido in midlife. Number 1 is we can take something that can help. And I recommend a nasal spray called Elate. And it's a combination between PT-141, which helps to trigger the release of dopamine and stimulate desire. It also has tadalafil, which supports healthy blood flow and arousal. because we need the blood flow in those areas. And it also has oxytocin in it, which supports the feelings of trust and closeness and intimacy. And so it has all those three things. So it's just a nasal spray that you use 45 to 30 minutes prior to intimacy. Okay. So that can really, really help because again, it's addressing those different aspects of libido. And you can find this in my link tree under sexual health. So it's just a nasal spray. We also offer a thrill pill, which can be dissolved right underneath your tongue. And we offer just the PT-141 in an injection. Okay, so that can help. Next is we get to the root cause of your symptoms, right? We address the cellular energy, which NAD plus can really, really help with that. If you're, if you have poor mitochondrial function, which most of us do in midlife due to stress and chronic inflammation. So NAD plus was a big game changer for me and my libido, 100%. When I take that NAD plus, I am ready to go. Insulin resistance, so microdosing something like tirzepatide can be really helpful for stabilizing blood sugar. But then also testing our hormones, right? And seeing where we're at with our progesterone, with our testosterone, with our cortisol. And so I do that with the Dutch hormone test. Again, you can find all of this in the link tree in my bio. You can find testing, you can find the peptides that I just mentioned, or send me a DM and we can talk about your specific issues, right? And what your goals are. Or book a free call and we can talk on a free call. Comment libido below and I can send you my brand new magazine drop that's going to talk about libido in midlife and all the things that I recommend. I hope this was helpful.